I've always liked cruises, but I am disturbed by the amount of food that is wasted in the buffets. When you look around the tables after the guests have left, almost every plate has uneaten food. Also, dishes are constantly being filled to make the buffet look more appealing, which means lots of food left over after meals to be discarded. Of course, it is not only on cruises that food is wasted. There's plenty of food that gets thrown out in restaurants and homes as well. Statistically, at least 30% of food that is produced is not eaten. That also means all the energy needed to produce the wasted food is also wasted. It takes a great deal of energy to produce the fertilizers, pesticides needed, to run the irrigation pumps, and to fuel the tractors and combines on the farm. Then there are the ships, airplanes, and trucks that deliver our food. Almost all the energy needed comes from fossil fuels, the combustion of which spews out carbon dioxide. An estimated 25% of greenhouse gases can be traced to producing our food supply. What can we do? Producing meat is a very inefficient use of crops. Livestock are fed roughly 1,700 calories per person per day, but only return 600 calories per person per day. We would be better off eating crops directly, but the fact is that the world is not going to turn vegetarian. Indeed, we are going in the opposite direction. As countries like China and India develop, their meat consumption goes up. In the West, we can certainly decrease meat consumption, which will benefit not only the environment but our health as well. Composting waste food also helps in two ways. Compost can be turned into fertilizer, and keeping food out of landfills prevents the generation of methane, a greenhouse gas, through bacterial decomposition. A great deal of food is discarded because people do not understand the difference between best before and expiration dates. Best before just means that there may be slight changes in texture or taste, but there's no question of safety with eating food beyond that date. It should not be thrown out. Expiration dates are different, with nutritional quality being reduced beyond that date. Rarely, though, does the food become unsafe. Another problem is that people do not buy blemished fruit or vegetables, even though these are perfectly fine. A blemish on an apple does not make it unsafe, but it likely means that it will be left in the bin at the end of the day to be discarded. As I write this, I feel a little sheepish because I just polished off a bowl of blueberries, part of my usual breakfast. They were imported from Peru, where unlike Canada, they can be grown year-round. I recognize that transporting the berries, that are basically 90% water, is an environmental disaster. But I like the taste and the health benefits. I don't think it compensates for my blueberry environmental transgression, but when I buy my apples, I do try to pick the ones with blemishes. When it comes to cruising, though, I just try not to think about what an environmental nightmare a cruise ship is. Life is full of complicated decisions. That for today is our Cup of Joe.